I was 2 frames from searching Toy Chica's feet. I was...
Toy Chica's...
It was almost...
Oh, no, they're not webs. They're the weird, like, rectangles.
Ladies, gentlemen, and those with the good sense to do away with the whole notion, I welcome you to the premier audio medium for all your Fazbear entertainment needs. The Freddy Fazbear Pizza Podcast. Note, FFPP is not responsible for any loss of appetite, disinterest, dismemberment, or other legally classified statuses. So strap in and enjoy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Freddy Fazbear Pizza Podcast. I'm your host of the Toast, here to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's like we always do, with a very special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi there. My name's Tom. I am the host of Game Theory, and we occasionally talk about FNAF.
Sometimes. Yeah. I mean, if we really gotta.
I mean, there are things that pay the bills sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's a reason I did one Dead Seat video. So we were talking about...
Good game.
Great game. Loved it. I wish it took off more.
Right.
We were talking about, like, what... The whole concept of this podcast happened, like this episode, because we were in each other's DMs at our wits' end, respectively, about a certain Chica's secret party. The most confusing thing we've gotten in some time. So
we'd been talking about it in the build-up to, like, when the leaks happened. And we're like, there's no way.
I was convinced they were just fake. Because, like, what are we talking about?
No way. And then lo and behold,
and here it is real. And it's one of those things, so really today's episode is just going to be, what the hell? Hey, what the hell is this?
Yep.
And to I guess, preface that, for anyone who doesn't know, Chica's Secret Party is part of the Ultimate Guide 2.0. Now, these have never been held to a high standard of accuracy. These are honestly quite known for being incredibly inaccurate. But never before has there been a completely just not real game in one of these before, which there is now.
It's one thing for them to be like, oh, this character showed up in this game.
Yeah.
Or this was the first female version of this character, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Bonnet was the first female or something. It was like, and it first showed up in FNAF World. It's like, huh?
Yeah, or it was weird. Like the Bonnet one was a weird one, but it's normally like lines here and there. Or, like I know the Ultimate Character Encyclopedia like doesn't have Michael, which feels like a weird.
Yeah, like
thing.
a weird
Like,
exclusion.
There's always been weird little things, but it's never been like, here's an entire entry that's just
not real. And as far as, like, what has Scott said about this? Well, wouldn't you know it, we have exactly one mention, kind of not even mention, one thing Scott ever talked about with this, and it was in a live stream chat where when Dawko asked him, he just said, anyway, I gotta go. And that's it.
Yep. So there's clearly something to it.
Something's up.
I know DJ Sturf has also made a few comments on it. Because I believe he proofreads a lot of these.
Yeah, I'll pull him up because as far as I was aware, the only thing he had said, and that I was not keeping up with him. The only thing I knew he mentioned was that he sent in like a large number of corrections, and they were just fully ignored, as they often are. But I do wonder.
I know that there was a stream on Christmas Eve that he did, where he talked about it. And it's kind of weird and cryptic.
Yeah, I can imagine that be like he's trying to dance around getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Let me go. What if I do this?
Because the only other comment he made was on a Reddit post. He basically said that because people were like wondering what it was, and it was like, look, anything that's in this book, Scott had final say on. Yeah. So like Scott knows it's in there. It's meant to be there.
And that was one of the things I wanted to immediately get in front of. I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, this is evidence that they used like AI to write this whole book and nobody proofread it. It's like, I don't think that's accurate. Like, not only would Scott have definitely seen what's inside of this, but also the rest of the book is fairly accurate. And genuinely, AI could not do that good of a job.
No, like, there's too much going on for it to be completely like hallucinated. Like I know AI hallucinates, but like.
Yeah, it would have been caught because there's images, there's a lot. There's like, it's been formatted specifically by somebody. So like it would have been caught along the way. Not to mention, if AI wrote this entire book, it'd be littered with just a bunch of random wrong things, not a mostly 100%. Accurate book and then one really weird pair of pages.
Yeah, 100%. Like I remember when AI was like first becoming a thing before we really understood what was going on. I was like, summarize a book for me. I just want to see what it can do. And I asked it to summarize, I can't remember, it was a FNAF book.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was pulling in, I think it pulled in one of your theories as a fact.
I can imagine.
And I was just like, I know that theory. That's not in the book.
It's just one of those things where it's like it's bad Google, and bad Google does a worse job at this than like it feels. And that's another thing about like people are saying like, oh well, it's just someone made a mistake. No, because there's images. No, like right there are real images. Well, real quote unquote, but there are images of this game, which means somebody, if it is fake, had to Photoshop that.
It's 4 pages.
Yeah, like it's not something that's
a lot of mistake to make.
And they're images that are clearly Photoshops of other FNAF minigames, right? Like we have Chica's new party, which looks the first image is the FNAF 3 Chica minigame, which I think is just Chica's party. Something that one might be new. It looks like the sewers, but it's a similar layout. One that looks like a kitchen of a similar layout. And then the last one is just straight up Midnight Motorist with Chica on it. Like somebody photoshopped these.
It's also the one, again, just flicking through, it obviously has like Scott Cawthon's minigame guide.
Yeah.
Which is unique. I don't believe the others have that.
That's a good question. Glance. Yeah, I'll flip through. Because it's Scott Cawthon's minigame guide. And
because they always have like a document explaining or a piece of paper that's like, here's the game.
And it's the fact that this is fully explained. Whereas like other minigames get like a passing mention.
Yeah.
And
now the argument, obviously, I guess in universe, quote unquote, is the fact that no one found this game.
Yeah. I was just about to get to, because it's in the minigame guide. The game is presented to us, the reader, as a very nearly a secret game, only available for a short time, 3 days, on ScottGames.com back in 2016. Information and tips can still be found on fan wiki websites about the elusive secret party. Check them out if you want to know more. Hey, no, they can't.
Except there's no wikis.
There's no wikis of this. No one has ever mentioned. Now, is it?
Now I went to the Wayback Machine.
Okay,
and there was no data on this.
I was gonna say,
at all.
There is technically an argument to be made that theoretically there could be a 3-day span where it was available on the website and got taken down before anyone found it. Because like, who was checking ScottGames.com in 2016?
Right, that way we were kind of past that point. Because 2016, what? 2016. So we had sister location was 2015. When was FNAF 6?
I think FNAF 6 was
2017.
Yeah, there's that, because that was the first big drought for FNAF, was the in between sister location and Pizzeria Simulator.
Because we were like roughly checking Scott Games, because I know that's where we get between sister location and FNAF 6. It's where we get the whole breakdown of
the conversation. But even then, that was if we were checking the source, I guess counterpoint. Yeah, someone people were checking it, and someone would have found it.
I refuse to believe that nobody found a thing.
Yeah, if we found changes in the source code that don't change the website but do show up in the source code, someone would have found an entire minigame. And especially how massive this minigame is, which is another crazy part about it. Because it's not just one of the Happiest Day minigames like that size. It is like a full multi-leveled with bosses game. Like, I'd argue it's larger than like any of the Freddy in Space troll games. Like, it is a massive game. And this leads me into thinking that it is like purposely fake. It reads like somebody who doesn't really play video games making up what they think a video game would be. Because, like, each room is fully different. It's like, oh, yeah, here are the levels. Yeah. In the dark basement, you have to... Yeah, it sounds like I'm a little kid making up a game on the spot, where the dark basement, there are 3 crying babies that need to be fed cupcakes and saved. Each one is hidden within the dark basement. When you feed a baby, it stops crying and floats into the rising water, safely out the basement window. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it almost feels like, again, because, like, obviously we've had the mini games in FNAF 3, FNAF 4. It feels like someone stitching those all together to make a game.
Yeah.
Because they're all different, and they all have slightly different methods and different solutions, and so it then feels like, oh, we've just put these things together in order to, like, so it's like a collection of mini games versus one actual game.
Yes, 100%. Each room is like just a fully different mini game, and they're also like connected in nonsensical ways. When you beat the dark basement, the progression is the doorbell rings, and you go to the door, and there's a package, and inside is a block of cheese, which I guess you now need for another level, and they don't really go back to that block of cheese.
It's very point and click adventure.
Yes,
where your goal is to, like, find all the pieces, like, because they talk about it a few times. I forget exactly the lines, but it's like, you need this thing to, you need, like, one thing to help this person. Chica later returns with, like, a tiny black hat, and once you have your hand reached out, like, so it's like, you have to have this thing, you have to have this thing, you have to have this thing.
Yeah,
and they will all feed into, like, this bigger
it's very reminiscent
picture,
of that,
like, solving.
What was the name of it? Was it like King's Quest or something similar to that?
Yes.
Yeah, that like classic, like old style, like you're saying, like point and click, where like there wasn't a clear path. It was just trying everything. And, oh, of course, the rotten apple made the tree fall over, which opened the path. That's, of course, what I was supposed to know, you know? But combine that with like the codes and the things that feel like other mini games, and the fact that, you know, part of this minigame is that it would have told us, apparently, what was in the FNAF 4 box. It's like,
right? And that to me, because I know he got a lot of heat last year, or a year ago, 2 years ago now, where on the 10th anniversary, when he talked about not really knowing what was in the box, like, he had a rough plan, but it wasn't like fully formed. And then the story didn't go that way, so he left it, and he got a lot of flack for that. So it feels like him kind of going, no, guys, I had a plan. I promise you, I had a plan.
I honestly, I could see that. Well, it's funny. It's one of those things where very clearly, at least in the first 4 games, I want to say very clearly, maybe by the 5th that kind of stopped, but it seems to me very clearly that at least within the first 4 games, it was kind of the way he was storytelling was just kind of, you know, throw a lot out there, and then when you need to link something back, you have plenty of things to grab and then call it foreshadowing, right? And the box definitely feels like one of, I think he, in so many words, that's kind of what he was getting at, and then he never needed to, so now it's kind of not important anymore.
Yeah, like I did a whole video breaking down Scott's storytelling style around focusing around the box, and it's like, it's exactly that. He's throwing a bunch of stuff out. It's where I think the mistake was made was he put so much emphasis on the box.
Yeah.
And he was so like, the box is like important. Some things are best left forgotten. And so it's like, oh, here's this thing. The final thing you get is this box.
Yeah.
So we all want to know what's in it. And then he just goes, oh, you didn't solve it in like a month.
Yeah. Oh, well. Forget it's over now. That's like, because like, if there was just like a locked box in the back of the closet, sure. But you're right. It's exactly. Spotlighted.
It's spotlighted, and so in a way, it's like, you're absolutely right. Where he threw a bunch of stuff out and was like, "Oh, I can maybe bring this back in," but because he'd spotlighted it, there was too much attention on it for it to be that. It needed to have been more planned or more paid off in some way.
I mean,
and like, hey, maybe if we solve this, maybe it will finally get paid off. Maybe he spent the year or like figuring it out, like untying the knots and figuring out what can I make this box that's like satisfying.
I mean, it's that or the answer I've seen a lot where it's we see in the FNAF 2 movie, she has all those memory relics in a locked box. I've seen a lot of that. It's like, that might be our only ever hint towards that, of just like, something like that.
Which again, we kind of talked about. I talked about a little bit. It's this sense of like, it's thematic rather than anything of actual value. Like,
yeah,
it's
like
not,
I don't think it's
thing
the
in
crying
box is-
child's body or something.
Yeah, it's not, but it's like, oh, it's thematic to something, like to the grander themes of FNAF, the grander themes of that early stage of FNAF. And while that might not be like the most, oh, this is like the lore-breaking answer, it at least makes sense and feels somewhat like, oh, this ties in, this makes sense, this feels earned. So it might be that. Like, because I remember seeing that in the FNAF 2 movie and just going, oh, he just like threw something in to tell us what's in the box. Maybe.
Yeah, like that's probably our only a smoke trail to be able to find something like that. Yeah, and it's just that was also the thing about Chica's Secret Party that to me went, okay, this is fake. Like that was my first inkling of like, besides the fact that it's a mini game we've never heard about. Once it was like, oh, and it solved the box, I'm like, okay, hey, this is a Talbot Files situation again. You know?
Yeah.
The idea of like, this is now too good to be true. But no, it was true. It just wasn't real.
Yeah. The idea that it would solve too many problems. And again, for me, I was coming at it from, he's just said like 6 months-ish ago, he doesn't know what's in the box.
So to be like, oh, I did know, and
like,
you missed
I
it.
planned what was in the box. It felt like he would have turned around and gone, oh yeah, I did know what was in the box, but it's not relevant anymore.
You know what it is? It's
or nobody figured it out, haha.
It's the scrap trap death line that I always make fun of William for, because it sounds like a kid who's gotten caught and lying, where it's that, I knew it was a trap, obviously, but I was interested nonetheless. Like it sounds like I knew this was a trap, you know, and that's kind of the vibe this is doing. It's like, no, I had a plan, you guys just didn't solve it. But even then, now there is
this game that was definitely up there for 3 days.
Yeah, for 3 days and never again. And it is interesting to consider the possibility. I see 2 ways, because I think we're both in agreement that there's no way this is, you know, like a mistake. And there's no way it would have gone through too many layers to just not be seen.
Exactly.
So is this a troll, or is this somehow a incredibly cryptic teaser for something to come? Because the weird thing about Security Breach was all of the like Chica's Chowder stuff, and the fact that I believe it was the project file for Ruin. I'm gonna double check this because I don't want to lie here. FNAF Ruin. I'll have to find it, but it was one of those things where like, you know, there's those code names in the files for like the names of the .exes and whatnot, and one of them for it was either Ruin or Security Breach or something had something to do with Chica. So the fact that after all the weirdness like that, we now get Chica's Secret Party, it's like, okay, are we just doing a troll, or is this the most cryptic teaser we've ever received?
Right.
Yes. Okay, so it was Ruin. It's probably on the trivia page if I had to guess. Yes, the DLC, the Ruin DLC's code name was Chica Chowder.
Yes.
And then the fact that we get that Chica's Chowder poster beforehand, which again, hey, I'll be the first to say it. What does this have to do with Ruin at all? Besides the fact that Chica's there and a little melty.
Right. Very. Yeah, very, very trolly. And like, and that Scott's always been a troll.
Yeah.
Like, that's his MO. So it's not unusual. It just feels like it's so much for just a troll.
Yeah, and there's like no clear punchline.
So much effort.
There's no clear like, oh, this is why it's funny. It's just like it just is.
Yeah.
Like with the other trolls, it always made sense. You know, like we had the sit and survive fake out games and all that, and like clearly the punchline was we thought we were getting something cool and it was just a little bit. Where there's like it's presented as real and there's no punchline.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's just So strange. I'm going through DJ Sturf's comments from that. He's talking about a different book, but it feels very out of character and out of place.
Yeah. Let me pull up. That's funny. I was going to go on the wiki, and on the way there, apparently there's a gaming urban legends wiki, and it is already on there. That's very funny.
Yes. Yeah, because DJ Stuff starts talking about a different book, and he's like, "Oh, it's got a bunch of factual errors, and there was a guy who was sending in a bunch of corrections. One of the editors that they brought on. Oh, and like if you look at chapter 13." I'd like to start at chapter 13, as you normally would with a classic.
Right.
Chapter 13, if I might,
Which, it is chapter 13 in the book, Chica Party.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, and it didn't help in the lead up to it, going through all the fake websites that people would make for Chico's Secret Party for, seemingly no reason.
Yep.
I'm just still to this day blown away that this is a real page, because I did a podcast for this before the book came out, and my big walkaway was, this isn't real. Like, it can't be real. How could it ever be real? But it is a real combination of pages. Are we meant to think about this beyond just, that's funny, that's not real? Or is this, because there's the non-zero. I feel like I'm grasping at straws if I were to say that it's something maybe Scott wanted to do and never could, so he put it here. But then why wouldn't he just say that? Anyways, I gotta go felt very like, that's either it's a troll or he's definitely said things similar to it when people would ask about future entries.
Yeah. Yeah, this DJ Star stuff is really confusing, because he's basically going, get a librarian to scan chapter 13. Like,
what?
Yeah, right?
That's so strange.
And then there's a bunch of numbers he's saying as well. Like, he's saying to start at chapter 13. Does that mean that's like the start of a puzzle, or does that mean it's you only need chapter 13 to understand what's going on?
God, and then like, I'm gonna grab my black light. I mean, surely somebody would have found something, but like, it's one of those things where it's because it's so weird, and because it seems like something that is like either a hoax or whatever, and no one really has tried to solve anything about it.
I think two things have kind of happened, because I saw Gibby also talking about this and getting frustrated with the fact that the fan base hasn't jumped on this in the same way that they did for like the Foxy Grid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think two things have happened. I think, one, this is not a puzzle book.
Yeah. There's no other puzzles in the entire thing.
People aren't expecting puzzles. There's no other methods that we've like used, or like we know what, because in the survival logbook, what puzzles you have and haven't used.
Yeah.
And so you can then go, okay, all of these pieces must go together.
Yeah, that book kind of like asks you to solve this.
Mm-hmm. So firstly, I think people aren't looking at it in the same way, but I also think the other issue is that people are tired. Simply, I think there has been, over the last few years, and we saw it really in the build up to Secret of the Mimic, right? And the frustration over like, are the books canon or not?
Yeah.
And people are just tired and frustrated over the lack of clarity. And this feels like another like nail in that coffin of just, here's a thing that makes no sense. Maybe find an answer. Maybe have fun. And everyone's just like, we're tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah, I don't want to buy your $20 book if it's just a rehashed wiki. Like, and I don't want you to not tell me what it is, so I buy it to find out.
Yeah, like, and again, when there's no sense of direction and everything still feels really vague, people are just frustrated with that, and so they don't want to like they're tired of trying to put the effort in to solve it when there's no sense of clue, there's no sense of direction.
Yep. Especially, you know, to add on to what you're saying, you know, we've had this conversation before about like in the previous arc, right, the William arc, it was always very clear, like, now we know, you know, the MCI happened and everything we have to solve and puzzle piece and all that, we can refer back to this. And it's like, okay, there's weird things, well, let's refer back to this and see what happens. And we don't really have that for this. So yeah. Now when we get a weird thing, it's not, okay, well, let's start here. It's, okay, there's another weird thing. You know?
Right.
So when you look at this, like, if I can't take this and go, well, on the surface, this doesn't make any sense, but maybe it's referring to the major mystery of this current story arc. We don't know what that is.
No. Yeah. Because it's also, it's placed between Help Wanted 2 and Secret of the Mimic as well.
Yeah, which is a weird.
Which is then why it's weird that it then pulls in the box and looks like it's from...
Pulls in the box. It's about Chica.
It's got it's toy Chica as well. It's
got, specifically.
You know, it's got the Midnight Motorist from FNAF 6. It's got the other mini games. It's, you know.
Also, that's a new sprite too. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
like
that's not a sprite we've seen.
Because like you're right to say it's Toy Chica because of the pants, the pink pants on there, but it's never. I don't think she's ever referred to as Toy Chica. She's only ever referred to as Chica, but it's a Toy Chica sprite and it's a new Toy Chica sprite. Because Happiest Day Toy Chica is very boxy, as they all are. Yeah. Yes. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I pulled that up. Which, you know, in a way is funny because I would argue probably one of the better sprites of Chica we've gotten is this one in the book that isn't real. You know?
Yeah, right.
It's just so genuinely strange. And the effort in it, too. You know, if this was just like one page, it's like, okay, sure, it's a troll, whatever. It's like we've been saying, it's 4 pages, and it is... in a way, fully fleshed out. It doesn't feel like a real game. It doesn't sound like it'd be fun to play. But it is a full game written out, what you do individually, piece by piece.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, is there a puzzle in here? And this is like the different trains of thought right now, right? Is like, is there a puzzle in this that we have to solve?
Yeah.
Is it trying to just clarify certain details about certain characters or certain events in like a cryptic way? Or is it something else entirely? Because like I could see there being a world where like this is a puzzle that we have to solve and there'll be an answer, but it feels so cryptic. Like, cause there's no obvious, like, you know, well versed in ARGs. There's no classic like ARG things to like look at and go, oh yeah, this is it.
Nothing's like, misspelled. There's no like UV things. There's nothing.
And people are like, oh, do we have to like take the directions and do them in like Security Breach or in Secret of the Mimic or in Help Wanted 2? Is there like a place where we can input like the directions and stuff?
Yeah.
And that's which, again, I don't think has come up with anything.
Like you've mentioned, the fact that right there that you wouldn't even know which game to do it for. Like, we have 9 major games in this franchise. I'm not going to say... Or 10 now, I think. Was Secret of the Mimic the 10th, or is that the 9th? Around 10.
Secret of the Mimic is the 11th, isn't it?
It's the 11th?
I'm just trying to think. In terms of games...
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
So 7. Help Wanted is 8.
So... Right. I forgot about UCN. I think that's where it's coming from. I always forget about
UCN is 7. Help Wanted is 8. Security Breach is 9.
And then, Help Wanted
2 is 10.
Yeah. Man.
Secret of the Mimic is 11.
And
right?
I don't see this. I don't see this coming up. I don't even see this coming up in, like, you know, like I mentioned, is this somehow a cryptic teaser? I wouldn't even know how it could be. Because if we're looking at whatever's coming up next, it's probably that thing Scott mentioned where it's a sequel, not a 3, but a 2. And... What is it going to be?
What? Security Breach 2 or
FNAF 2 2. Like, what are we talking about? I mean, always bet on FNAF World 2, first of all. Maybe this is our FNAF World 2, is that it's going to be, actually, it's Chica's Secret Party as FNAF World 2. And that's an
Chica's Secret Party is a mini game within FNAF World 2.
Even if it's like,
because a few levels deep.
It's been floated, like, what if it's like Sister Location 2, judging where we're at underground? And even then, hey, famously, Chica wasn't there. Was it because she was at her secret party?
Like, it could be Sister Location 2. It's so... That whole era is so weird to me because it's like now we're in the era of everything has a name.
Yes.
Right?
So it's weird to give us a sequel.
So it would be weird to give us a sequel, but it's also like, it could be Sister Location 2. That was in that weird era where it was like, we haven't... Because, like, even though FNAF 6 has a name...
Yeah.
We all call it FNAF 6.
But nobody says FNAF 5. Like, not a single person says FNAF 5.
And so it's like this weird middle ground of like, yes, I suppose it could be that. I always looked at Sister Location as like a follow-on from FNAF 4, so it feels weird to then have it be... But yeah, I suppose that's possible.
My dream, and I don't think it's likely, my dream, and just because I like simulator games, I want Freddy Fazbear Pizza Simulator 2, and you have a Pizzaplex. I think that'd be fun. Granted, I don't want to do that night gameplay ever again, so hopefully it's really heavy in the simulator aspect of it. But I
again, classic troll where it's like, oh, this is just a simulator. Oh, that's weird,
right? And then it feels like this. Like, imagine the next game we get it, and we play through Chica's Secret Party for 30 seconds, and it's something else entirely.
Right? Because
it is. Hey, if we want to really put our tinfoil hats on, this is exploring a house. Like, the whole point of this is she is exploring a full attic to basement house, and that one place we really need to go again, I would argue, is the house we just saw at the end of Secret of the Mimic, but now. So, like, if we really want to put our tinfoil hats on,
I mean, that's what we do. It's what we do best.
The idea that it's like, just... God, but even then...
I mean, we also get that, obviously, the outside of the house from Midnight Motorist.
Yeah.
Which...
It's the same outside.
Most generally is speculated to be the Afton house.
Which, if it is, it would very likely be on the same plot. Yeah, it's...
Yep.
So strange. Not to mention, I mean, how conspiratorial do you want to get? Because FNAF 2... I mean,
let's go.
The FNAF 2 movie
we gotta go.
Shows us that the toys were spring locks, right? In the movie.
Yep.
So, that... Am I getting a phone call? I hear vibrating. Oh, no, it's just an alarm. So, in that sense, we now have... If we are to take that in any way, they're showing us a springlock suit going through a house, which would have been the FNAF 4 house / Murray house, which in the movie was used to house the marionette like Lefty. So there's a lot of pieces. If we want to really get lost in Chica's chowder, you can take a lot of these pieces and run.
Yeah, I'm literally just reading through it right now.
Yeah,
trying to go like, right, what is like each section like showing us? Like
each section is just a different aspect of the minigame, and they're all so different.
Yeah, but therefore it's going, what can those things relate to? So it's like the question is, can Chica accomplish all of the levels without being caught by the mysterious shadowy figures? So you're going, okay.
And it even mentions, I'm at the secret room. It even mentions, it doesn't even say in this, right? Because it mentioned that, like, oh, if you want more details, go to a fan wiki, which obviously is a lie.
Yeah.
It's also here that you catch a glimpse of a box that longtime fans will be familiar with, as well as a peek inside, which won't be spoiled here to those creative enough to find their way to it. Hey, where else would it be spoiled?
Right?
It's not even like I can go and... they're phrasing it like, you better go play the game and find out yourself. What game?
Yeah. And again, if it was on wikis, trust me, that piece of information would have been spoiled already.
Yeah, but that would have been everywhere. No one would have asked Scott in an interview what's in the box if that was on a wiki from 2016.
Right? Because again, for this information to exist, it would have to have been found. Like, it's here. Yeah, it's just because that line is framed so trolly.
Yeah.
Right. What else
There is also a lot of weird details about this. Like in the bathroom. Surprise, there's something else that's very significant at the bottom of the tub, and it's never elaborated on. Who knows what it is? A key, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's just trying to like, so it's like the shadow figures. In a stealthy game twist, there are 2 shadow figures sneaking through the party as well. Chica needs to follow one of the shadow figures. So the other thing is, this is a party happening at a house.
Yes. Yeah, because it suddenly music blasts in the house, confetti showers around her. All her uninvited guests move through the halls dancing. Chica decides to join the dance train. Her party does not have to end.
Yeah, which is weird. Her party does not have to end. Kind of feels... And again, we're in the FNAF 4 house. Feels very happiest day.
Yeah. Frankly, it almost feels like the opposite of the happiest day.
Right?
And in that sense of like wanting things to stay the same. I mean, I just played Five Nights at Fredbear's 3, so that's also on the mind. I don't know if you saw the true ending for that.
I have not.
Genuinely, maybe I think it's in top 2, not FNAF fan games. For me, it's in top 2 FNAF games. It's that good of a fan game.
Yeah.
But I won't spoil the ending. But the idea of wanting the things to stay the way they are is very prescient in my mind because of it.
Yeah, it feels like it's something like, again, if we're going tinfoil hatty, it feels like it's something to do with the crying child's party.
Yeah, like surely it has to be. If we're in the FNAF 4 house, it's about a party that we don't want to end.
The shadow figures is also weird because it switches between plural and singular.
Yeah, and the only
because because it's been saying about how basically like we've got, you know, how not to be caught. You can't be caught by these mysterious shadow figures.
Yeah,
but it's like there are 2 shadow figures sneaking through the party as well. Chica must follow one of the shadow figures to discover the person behind the shadow. When she finds herself toe-to-toe with a shadow figure, her best bet is to run the opposite direction. Beware, it's very important not to follow the wrong shadow figure.
Which is also... I mean, if we're talking about tinfoil hat, what's another time Chica followed a shadow figure besides follow me? Which I would argue did end up ending the party, but maybe she was following the wrong one.
Right? Well, because that's the thing. So, yeah, because in Follow Me, she's following what?
Purple Freddy, quote unquote. If you want to call it Shadow Freddy, if you want to call it William Afton in a suit, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Does Toy Chica have a mini game at some point with the cupcakes?
I think only in Happiest Day. And I can't think of in Happiest Day, and then the closest thing to it besides that is because if anything, this reads to me somewhat similar to the Circus Baby minigame, where you're collecting cupcakes and feeding kids.
Right.
But that one's... And, like, that's the thing. I understand that, like, these have always been cryptic and hard. That one's difficult in a way that feels like a video game. It's difficult because there's a tight time limit. You have to be perfect with your inputs. This is difficult because it feels like somebody doing, like, an improv story and not being told to stop.
Right. Yeah, because Chica's party... Yes, I'm trying to think, because all those minigames, because there was also the Shadow Bonnie used as well, but yeah, it's like... I mean,
that I was in Happiest Days, I think the only minigame I can think of that has those shadow figures. Like the Shadow BB, the Shadow Puppet, and all that.
Yeah, it's about following the wrong shadow figure. And then obviously Afton being purple guy, like that's obviously...
Yeah.
So it's like, well, so it feels like, again, so it's like, okay, we're in the Afton household. One of the characters is William.
I mean, if we want to take this at any rate, a lot of people will say Midnight Motorist, person on the couch who's gray, is Mrs. Afton or Michael Afton. This is, to be fair, calling out a person in the FNAF 4 house and calling them the Gray Man. So if you want, that could be evidence for a Michael or a Henry explanation.
It could be evidence for that. It also could be Henry.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about... It could be, hey, it could be Scott.
Because if you get into like FNAF world and the guy at the desk and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, or, I mean, if you want to go in the literal interpretation, then, an overworked and burnt out Scott, maybe.
Also true.
Yeah,
but
with something this weird and trolly, I wouldn't go past it.
Yeah.
I do like how many things...
No, you go.
I do like how many things in this lead nowhere. Things are specifically pointed out, right? Like, after the babies are appeased, an old static radio flickers on and starts repeating a series of numbers. Chica needs to remember these numbers for something important. No, she doesn't. That never comes up again.
We don't know what the numbers are to begin with.
Nope. Yep. We don't know the numbers. They never come up again. The next level is the attic.
Which again feels like it's a guide for something we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, if you go into Secret of the Mimic, there's a room with a radio that's spouting numbers that we never used.
Because there is still, like, weird number things that we don't have answers for. Like, I immediately jumped to the tally marks of Security Breach and Ruin. Mm-hmm. We still have no good answer for them. Even despite the fact that the tally marks also appear in the guidebook, or the logbook. So, like, it's like, and then there's the similar balloons in Security Breach or whatever it was. There's, like, so many weird number things that, like, is this just in here to throw us off, or is this because Security Breach, the more games come out, it definitely feels like the more games that do come out, the more we can look back to Security Breach and go, oh, that's what they were going for.
Right, it feels like there's still so much unsolved about Security Breach specifically,
and it's just because we don't have enough information. We just literally couldn't.
Not enough information. Like, part of it was information, part of it was also just, I think they overestimated how much the open world would shift that dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, people are still discovering new details.
I just saw the other day, I apologies, I'll have to look up and put it up here when I after the fact, because I couldn't even remember if it was a tweet or a YouTube short. It was a YouTube short from Johnny the Night Guard, who, and there's no conclusion, but it was a really good point out for Jackie. And it was talking about, like, obviously we know that, like, she's in a puppet-like box. The more she gets damaged, the more she kind of looks like Nightmare Own. Like, we know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
He pointed out in the underground area that you fight the Chica boss fight in, and I'll send you the picture. There's tubing alongside one of the paths that is nearly identical to Jackie's arms. And I was like, that's one of those, like we just said, that's one of those things where, like, playing through Security Breach, why in the world would random tubing mean anything? But now, going back with new context again, you go, why is this here? Let me pull up that picture for you so I don't sound as crazy as I feel. Sure. I'm pretty sure it was Johnny the Night Guard, right? Pizza Box. Was it not Johnny the Night Guard? It was somebody who makes really good YouTube shorts. Hold on, let me... Jackie has a secret. Yeah, okay, it was Johnny the Night Guard. Okay, I just could not find it. So I'll send you the short, but I will also
yeah.
So here's the short, but then let me grab the screenshot. Oh, and it also brings up that the Nightmare Own jump scare noise is present in her jump scare.
Interesting.
But yeah, this tubing...
I mean, that's one of those things, because, like, as soon as they tease Jackie and we're like, oh...
This is the tubing in that underground
box.
area.
Yeah, I see it.
Like, that's Jackie's arm. And is that purposeful? Who can say with Security Breach, with how messily that was handled? But right. The fact that, like...
And what does it mean?
Yeah, like, what could that possibly be? Is it just, like, an influence of the Mimic? Is it an influence of... And that's another thing, like, Jackie, as a character, as far as we're aware, shouldn't have connections to the puppet.
Like, but that was the thing. When we were first introduced to her, it was in the music box playing the Marionette's theme.
Without the hair, too, in a way that made it look more like the puppet.
Yeah, and it's like, what is the connection between these two things?
Did we have?
And we know that Charlie is like somewhat connected because it's like the Charlie door for the post-it note room and all of that. So it's like Charlie clearly has some implications here.
I'm trying to remember.
But then how does that tie to Jackie, which was, you know,
not
just a character
wing.
that at one point was worn by the Mimic?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember on the monitor in Edwin's personal office if it was it alt marionette design as well, or just alt Fazbear design? That's what I'm trying to.
Alt Fazbear design, yeah. There was a puppet or something like that.
Yeah, so I wonder if maybe that's the piece we're supposed to be connecting here. Is that maybe it was literally just a prototype of the marionette in some way?
Yep.
Also,
but then you get to that point of, but why?
Yeah, but why?
Like, why
we have all these pieces and we have nothing to connect it to. You know, like the fact
or even
that
if we can, we just go, it was an early puppet design. You just go, okay, so what?
Why? Or the fact that, you know, this in the files, right? The tree texture for next to the house is Inventor's tree, and you look at that immediately, and it goes, okay, I guess that explains the Princess Quest door tree. And the fact that it's the same tree that you see in the FNAF 6 ending. It's like, we have all these connections, but nowhere to connect it to.
Yeah, they don't go anywhere. Yeah, it's strange.
And this Chica's secret party is emblematic of this weird mess.
Yeah. And this is why I think people, and like I said earlier, I think this is why people were giving up, because they're just like, I'm too tired for this boss.
Like if the guidebook came out today, I think... Because if I remember correctly, the Cassidy name was cracked, I want to say, within a month. Like, pretty quickly. I think if that same guidebook came out today, we would have gotten there, but I think it probably would have been a couple months. I don't think people would have tried as hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was at the height.
Yeah. Whereas, like, with this, which is arguably... if it is a puzzle, a way more vague and abstract and arbitrary puzzle, I don't know if we do get there, if it is supposed to be a puzzle. For sure.
Because, yeah, I'm just looking at it. It's like, again, I'm looking at this trying to, like, interpret things as well.
Yeah, like, there's numbers, but not to Black Ops 2, not to Black Ops 2, but what do the numbers mean?
It's like, Fredbear's there, and he might give you hints, maybe. Like, what?
Yeah, the Gray Man has something important to tell you. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you
Three crying babies.
Yeah, and like
it's a lot of crying babies.
Strange Gray Man sitting at a desk, which you're right to point out, Desk Man for FNAF World, and then it's there's a locked mini safe with a 4-digit code, and the Gray Man doesn't want to chat, so that she has to go get it. And then when you crack it, the Gray Man decides to speak and gives a hint about something scary under a bed. We don't go to a bed for the rest of the game.
Numbers code that she had to pay attention to?
No, that's before it. It's a different numbers code.
Oh.
It's a different numbers code.
Right.
Unless you're supposed to get the numbers code and then go back, but they don't say that.
I think that I think is just a condensing thing.
Possibly.
Where it's like, it's not, because it's not, it doesn't feel like a guide of go here, go here, go here.
Well, even so, if it is a condensing thing, something important is more characters than the safe.
Right.
and then something scary under a bed. Was there anything under the bed in the master bedroom? There is Fred Bear.
Golden Freddy.
Yeah, a golden fuzzy hand snaps out. Figure out how to get them guarded without being snatched up. But they don't say how, though. Oh, later returns the tiny black hat. Is the black hat in the safe?
The black hat.
Maybe?
I guess.
Or was that at the bottom of the bathtub? You know what?
Right?
Hey, a good amount of people watch this. One of you is a coder. Somebody make this so I can play it. Somebody make this, fill out the in-between. You can even do the 5 laps at Freddy's thing, where when we open the box, it says no lore here or something. I don't care. Just just make it playable so I can piece this out in my mind. Because if I stare at this any longer, I'm going to take my whiteboard and start drawing the house. Okay?
Right. Because she because the whole thing, a lot of it is like, because like you get 2 cupcakes, and it's like, okay, you've got to give those to the kids, I guess.
Yeah, she realized she needed the golden key in order to enter the final level. Yeah, there's crying kids throughout it.
Which again feels important that like almost every level has like crying kids.
Yeah.
Like why are they there?
Countdowns, there's the shadow figures and the crying kids, which again evoke happiest day. Like, not to mention the fact that it's a party, but the idea that it's filled with crying children and shadowy figures, that's happiest day.
Yeah, in the FNAF 4 house.
Yeah, a house with a maze of adventures with 10 crafty levels in the game, 2 bedrooms, a secret room, bathroom, kitchen, dining area, living room, home office, garage, basement, and an attic. I'm going tinfoil. I'm going to count the rooms in the Secret of the Mimic house.
We know. Oh, in like Edwin's like
in Edwin's house. Yeah. I mean, we don't
like,
get to see every single room, but we get to see all the rooms with doors in them. So I feel like that's most of them.
Yeah, that's true.
House layout, because it's close. I think there's more rooms. Oh, God bless Toxic TOXYC_ on Reddit for making a complete and accurate map of Secret of the Mimic with every room and floor. Thank you. Thank you. So
you are truly a treasure.
Just counting rooms, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's already more than 10. Even before we delineate, like, oh, this big hallway is the kitchen and the hallway or whatever. I don't think it's too accurate. Close one to be accurate. Yeah. Because, not to mention, like, that includes the attic and the basement, which if we were to look at the Murray house, the attic, I guess, would be... We do see an attic. We go up it on the escape out. And then the basement would be, I guess, the laboratories underneath.
I guess so.
I guess. God, because you're right. Like, if we're to link it to anything, we have one house in recent memory, and it's this mansion. Because even if we try to link it to the FNAF 4 house, we've never gotten a good layout of it.
No, not really.
No, we've gotten the FNAF 4 day minigame, which could be argued that it's not even the same house we see in the nightmares. Right. They're completely separate layouts. And that's without getting into the didophobia possibility of it all.
Well, and because didophobia is laid out like the FNAF 4 house with the addition of the living room, which is from sister location.
Yes. Yeah. But specifically the nightmares layout, because it's nothing like the one we see in the daytime.
Yes.
Which has a separate fuse map on the sister location fuse map.
Yeah.
God.
Yes, I saw your video on this.
Yeah. God. Once again, wrapping back to, there's so many disparate pieces and nowhere to connect them to.
Yeah.
But then again, it's showing us, Midnight Motorist, which by the time of Midnight Motorist, that's no longer Murray's mansion. If we are to argue that it is the house we're talking about, that would have been the FNAF 4 house at that point. Which, it may or may not be the same building, who can say, but regardless, it would have changed in some way by then. Man, oh man. What a right mess. It's something that you flip through.
What on earth is this? It's just, again, it's just like the way this... I'm reading about the attic right now, and it talks about, the challenge is that the boxes and trunks will all move and shift to the movement. But just the way it's phrased of, Chica has a difficult time finding where she's been or where she's going.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like...
Hopefully, Chica saved a power-up.
Story focused.
Yeah, hopefully Chica saved a power-up or two for this level. They've never mentioned power-ups this entire time. What do we mean there's power-ups now?
Right. And that's what I mean, where it feels like a guide for a game that should exist. Or like a cryptic guide for something. It's like, hey, if you had some power-ups for this bit, maybe you'd unlock a secret thing.
Ooh, there's another mention here. In the kitchen and dining area, the sneaky mutts... And this is going to be crazy out of context, but what context can absolve this? The sneaky mutt eats quickly, and Chica can only grab another pizza after 30 seconds. Chica may or may not need a power-up in order to feed these babies. Again, there's no mention what the power-ups are.
No idea.
Super fast, one cupcakes. Without being caught. It's also phrased like, if you die, you restart to the beginning.
Yeah. And even just think about the name, right? Because again, we're talking about like, oh, is this a party in like the crying child's house, in the FNAF 4 house? But it's a secret party, so it's not meant to be happening.
Yeah, and I mean, how tinfoil hat do we go to say there's only, as far as I'm aware, one mention of Chica visiting a house, and that's in Coming Home. which
we've often tried. Like, I know historically Matt would connect to Midnight Motorist and like the footprints outside the house. It's not her footprints, it's not Chica's feet, which is the problem, but it feels like reminiscent.
The idea of a big house that Chica is roaming around in, you know, which granted she only does in the final night to collect, but man, oh man, you know, I'm going tinfoil hat. I'm looking up.
That's what we're here for, man.
In Coming Home, where was the toy?
Oh gosh, now you're really testing my
memory. Yep, because I don't remember. Plot. I'm on the wiki. Because that was the thing. She needed her like toy or something.
Yeah.
Takes Susie's hand. Samantha shouts for them to stop. Goes back to. Okay, so this is before then. Wakes up from a nightmare. Huge Chica approaching. Kitchen. Discovers Gretchen in a secret room which her father used to make stories about. Yes, because there was the secret room in the office that he made because they would always make stories about that. And the box in this is in the secret room.
Right. And remember, like, it was like, you know, these stories can help solve mysteries from the past.
Yeah, and the idea of the fact that the whole point of the plushie was that Susie was unable to really move on without Gretchen, the toy. The idea of in any way somewhat linking it to the fact that the box is in a secret room. And we have a child who's unable to move on in relation to that box, being the crying child who had a toy who he very much cared for. Oh God.
Yep. Which again feels very Happiest Day, right?
It does. Yeah.
Again,
yeah.
The party was for you and all of that jazz.
I mean, you know, if you want to even bring FNAF World into it, seeing the similar box PNG in the woods that gets the clock ending done.
Yeah, and there was meant to be, wasn't there, like an open box in the files of FNAF World at one point?
Something like that. I can not remember the specifics of it. Oh no, maybe. Oh God. And again, and this is where we keep coming back to it. How are we meant to feel what's gone too far when we don't know what is?
Right, exactly. But like, because it just feels like it's tying all these little pieces that keep tying into Crying Child or, you know, Cassidy and Vengeful Spirit and like Golden Freddy. Because again, Fredbear is here giving you hints.
Fredbear is here separate from Golden Freddy, which is crazy.
Two separate, which again makes you go, okay, Crying Child, Cassidy.
Yeah, all of our uninvited guests, it's even in the same sentence. Like, you can't even be like, oh, it was a mistake. No, Fredbear, Grayman, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy. Those are the four guests. Those are the four guests.
Right? Which then makes you go, okay, so these two are like separate beings. So, because is this trying to prove to us that Fredbear and Golden Freddy are two separate things?
Bonnie is found in the master bedroom. Are we to assume Grayman Bonnie is Henry and William?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's been the shadowy figures.
God.
Like, Bonnie is always important in some way.
He's
always around. And again, for, what was it? Oh, brain working.
God.
The Secret of the Mimic teaser within Help Wanted 2.
Yes,
We
which
got the
had
outside of Murray's
Fredbear
Manor
and Bonnie.
with a Golden Freddy and Bonnie.
Normal Bonnie, which was very strange.
Yes. Right? Which again,
which
the
is
fact that
on
this
a
is the
house.
Same, it's like, why are these two characters specifically being called out as regular Bonnie and Golden Freddy?
It's almost like if there was more structure to this plot, I'd argue that the fact that it's specifically Bonnie is to separate it from William. But I can't even say that's true. Like, I can't even definitively say that's true.
The only thing that separates it from William here in my mind is that we've been taught, one of the things we have to avoid is a shadow figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which feels like, it almost feels like the parent you're not supposed to, the parent doesn't want you throwing the party. The parent isn't interested in this party. And that would be the grumpy.
Yeah, shadow figures
William,
that disappear.
Who is also regularly shown in shadow, i.e. he is purple.
Yeah, shadow figures that just vanish randomly when you're done. It's not like resolved, they just disappear.
Yep. Like, I don't know who the second shadow figure would be. Again, it's the wrong one.
Yeah.
So,
the right one versus
Michael?
The wrong one is strange here.
Like Michael?
I mean,
as a future purple man,
as a guy who is generally good in the story, but is often mistaken for William. Yeah, I can see that.
And so it's like following your essentially like following the big brother versus following the dad who's the real villain.
Yeah. And if this is supposed to be some kind of Happiest Day like thing, are we to then assume that this is, obviously this would be post Crying Child bite, but what is it? It has to be post MCI if we're playing as Chica, you'd think.
Well, yeah.
You'd think.
I mean, if it's Toy Chica, maybe not.
Oh, yeah, because it's Toy Chica, even though it's called Chica.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it's at least past FNAF 2 if Toy Chica exists.
Maybe.
Or, well, it is based on toys that seemingly predate FNAF 2, though. So if it's just a representation of something, it could just be the toy.
Right?
Oh, man. There's things that we are saying that feel like they could go somewhere, but there's no destination. So it feels like we're making like a road trip plan.
Yeah.
On a map without knowing where we're supposed to end up.
Because that's the thing, is like, I think all these connections we're saying about like, oh look, here is all the connections with Happiest Day and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I think it all makes sense from a symbolic standpoint and all of that jazz. But what is it telling us? Like, what is the point? Like, okay, so we have this party that doesn't have to end. You've got all of the bad people that you have to avoid. Henry's maybe is there. The spirits of like Golden Freddy and Golden and Fredbear are there. Bonnie's also there. Like, what if this is like something tied with Happiest Day and the party that was for the crying child? Like, what do we learn from this?
I mean, not to mention the idea of the secret room, the thing you need to get the key to beat it and the box, is only accessed by beating both bedrooms, and then the secret room appears. The first bedroom is the one where Golden Freddy is under the bed, and you need to give him a hat. It's not specified where we get it from. The other one is the kid's bedroom, and the entire thing is that you have to put the toys back into a toy box, which opens up a drawer with a cupcake inside. And you have to put toys into a toy box, which gives you a cupcake from a drawer. And if we are to really stretch it thin, we're putting the pieces back together.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's just so many disparate pieces here. I mean, to the credit of the whole like, oh, this is proof the book was written with AI. This does feel like you scanned every wiki of every FNAF game and then said, come up with something.
Yeah.
It just spit out a little bit of everything. But again, like I don't think that's what's going on here.
No, it feels very, very odd.
Yeah.
And again, it's these pieces that, like, again, this feels like a game that should have come out post FNAF 4, post FNAF World, to tell us what was in the box.
Yeah.
Or to explain the crying child. Like, it feels like, because again, like, even FNAF World is almost like I know some people have theorized that it's like an alternate retelling of Happiest Day, essentially.
Because of all the like FNAF 3 connections to it.
Exactly. And so it's just like, it just feels like it should be, this is another attempt at that. But to what end? Like what, like we're making all these connections to all these things because we recognize these details, but the ending doesn't, if we put all those pieces together and go, well, this is this person, this is this person, this represents this.
And it feels like it could have been made by Scott too. Because he loves those older style of games. We get every single different kind. The only one we haven't gotten is this style of a game, the point and click adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we now have with Into the Pit, which is probably the closest we've gotten to it.
Yeah, it's not really point and click.
Yeah, it's not quite, but it's the closest we've gotten there.
It's the closest we've gotten. Like, it's just kind of a retro game. Because, like, point and click is very, very specific.
Yeah. It almost feels like this was a first draft of something, and he instead made FNAF World.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe, like, it almost feels like it's like, oh, we're making an ultimate guide? Hey, have this draft for a game I never made. Let's use this and make it seem like it was real and they missed it or something. Yeah. Which, hey, if it was FNAF World or this, I do think we won. Because this does not seem fun to play.
True.
This seems actively painful to play.
Well, yeah, because this is a point-and-click adventure game with stealth.
Yeah.
You have to not be stealth by the shadow timing while adventuring.
And not to mention, again, it doesn't say if you die, you restart, but it sure sounds like it. And I can't imagine doing a point-and-click puzzle game to have the final level be a 3-minute timing challenge, and if you fail, then you have to do all the puzzles again. That sounds awful.
Uninvited guests, Fredbear, Greyman, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy move through the halls dancing. Chica decides to join the dance train. After all, the party doesn't have to end.
It is also strange that, it's the FNAF 1 gang besides Freddy and Foxy. Now, you could argue Fredbear and Golden Freddy are there, so the bear's covered, but then there's still no Foxy. Mm-hmm. Instead of, like, randomly, instead of another animatronic, one of the guests is the Gray Man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because again, animatronics like sneaking into a house, saving the kids essentially.
Yeah.
Saving the party. Henry, let's say it's Henry for the sake of argument, because we haven't got really a better fit for it.
Yeah.
So like, and he's like talking to Chica, like he's like interacting with Chica, so he's like aware. Going, so why are they celebrating? Like, what did she fix? What did she resolve? She got all the kids their cupcakes. She made them all happy. Is that solve?
And to look at the premise of the game, ultimately say goodnight to her guests, which is not what happens. We instead make a party that never ends.
But again, those two things tied, again, happiest day, right? It's saying goodnight. It's saying farewell. And the party is the party which allows them to be released. And that party doesn't have to end. Like, they can keep, like, the party that was ended prematurely.
Yeah.
Can now keep going
especially
forever.
With how, like, spirits work in FNAF.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, but she is then saying goodbye to them, allowing this, like, saying goodbye to all the children, i.e., letting their spirits move on.
Fair. Yeah, and it's
that would
like,
be how this is me trying to make sense of a thing.
Yeah. No, like, because you're right in that sense that, like, in whenever we see spirits laid to rest in the stories or the novels, it's usually like, it's not like they pass on in a way. It's always like, oh, now they have a happy memory to spend eternity in. It's almost like, it seems like in the FNAF universe, the afterlife is living within one of your memories.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately, when I started reading this about shadow figures, I was like, oh, maybe it's like like in Happiest Day, maybe that's like a bad memory or an agony thing or something like that. But you're right to say it's similar to maybe a William Afton of sorts, because it does specifically point out who the person is behind the shadow.
Right.
So there's a specific person that we're meant to discover.
Which again, it's why this feels like a game that should have been released well before 2016, like 2014. Yeah. Being like, you haven't quite solved who Purple Guy is yet.
It's so strange. And the effort behind it really does feel like it's asking to be taken in some way.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel just like a troll. Like, there's something here. But it's so... Right. It maybe like Security Breach. It might be a thing that, like, we could bash our head against the wall for this for 3 hours, and then a game will come out that'll give us the piece of information that we needed for it.
Right.
Boxes.
Also, weird detail.
Yeah.
The more babies she appeases powers up her life force, allowing her to speed up, which will be needed for special levels.
Maybe that's the power up.
So, life force? That's weird.
Oh, yeah, that's in the first paragraph. More babies, turn them into happy babies without being caught by the mysterious shadow figures. That's so... Yeah, when you can't say life force in this franchise and not have us think about Remnant.
No. Right?
Like,
right?
That we have a life force. It's been scientifically made. I don't...
Yeah, it's definitely a real thing. Science.
It gets into that thing about how in Fazbear Frights, agony, there's that the little snippet that I feel like we don't really talk about much because it's not super relevant, where was it Phineas was the scientist for that, was talking about like my like-minded scientists are studying the effects of love, but clearly agony is the most powerful, which implies that all emotion carries energy with it.
Yep.
And then you look at something like a special delivery with 8 different colors of Remnant. Yep. Oh man! So when I see life force, even if it's not Remnant, what is it? Her love, emotion, energy is overflowing now.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Man.
It's like making kids happy brings her more life, like gives her life force. Which ties into like kind of what you were saying with love and stuff like that, because it's their happy emotion powers her.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like where was it that they threw Eleanor into her own bad memories, or how did they?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They trap her in her own bad memory.
Because I remember that like the whole thing was that I'm blanking on his name, Andrew and. Josh?
Oh gosh,
Tony? No, the hell's his name?
Tony.
Stitch Wraith characters. What? No, not a list of the minor characters from the Stitch Wraith stingers. The Stitch Wraith.
The Stitch Wraith himself, please.
Were you looking for the titular endoskeleton? I sure was. Jake. Okay, that's why I thought Josh.
There's so many flipping characters in this franchise.
There are. That was the whole thing about like Jake can use Remnant to give you a happy memory and enlarge it and make you just feel better or whatever, or help you move on. So the idea of, we're giving a cupcake to a crying child who now is happy and we have more life force in turn. It is giving, because, if you look at Happiest Day as a metaphor for going through the memories of the MCI victims, and you're going through the the pizzeria where their memories are, and you're making the memories better or whatever. It is giving that for victims that died at a house.
Right?
But there's so many.
Right? But again, it like feels incredibly tied to the crying child, but we know the crying child died at a Freddy's.
Or at least his last memory was of a Freddy's.
Yeah, he got bit.
Yeah, regardless of where he died, that would have been his last thought, is Fredbear's mouth.
Yeah. So it's like, so was this? Is this pre-bite? Is this a party that was being held at the Afton house for this kid? But then again, the whole point was like it was like or how we've been thinking about it historically is like it was his birthday party. Like the party is on Saturday. The party was for you.
Yeah, no, and that makes total sense.
And he gets crunched at his own birthday.
Yeah, and that's right. You're right that it's we're making a party. That's what resolves this. We're making a party that will now never end. Because like even if you wanted to argue that like because there's the arguments to be made that maybe the sister location rentals were slowly and surely killing kids and using remnant, and that's the like I think that's the other argument if you don't believe in a molten MCI is that the fun times are collecting kids or whatever and then being turned into remnant, what have you. If you wanted to then say this is Chica helping them move on because the house is above where that was, maybe, but even then, why is it? Well, I guess why is it a party? They would be rented for parties, but when they go back to their own homes,
I guess if we rewind a little bit,
yeah.
Why 2016?
Yeah, why after sister location?
If this is totally made up, why did he specifically pick 2016?
I mean, to go with that,
again, we're all saying it feels like it should have been 2014, like post FNAF 4, post FNAF World.
Which I agree.
Post sister location.
It is post sister. It's the same year sister location came out. Sister location was October 7th, 2016.
October 7th. And this was just back in 2016.
Yeah, so either before or after sister location.
Which again ties it back to the whole happiest day FNAF 4.
Yeah, the idea that we would have gotten a game of that would tell us about the box.
And it's after
in a house.
It's after the Silver Eyes as well.
Yeah, and it would have been, right before or right after the game where we see that the FNAF 4 house in some way was being monitored and or was not real in the first place and it was all testing chambers. Oh, man.
And Chica is noticeably absent in that game.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. She's busy. She's busy doing the secret party. Is the thing.
Right?
She was rented out the whole time for one big secret party.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, 'cause again, it was Baby's Entertainment Rentals. We know that Chica was being rented out.
Yeah.
And we now know that there was this secret party happening.
A secret party with notably with no Funtime characters, because it's Fredbear, Golden Freddy specifically, Bonnie, which you could argue Bon, but there is no like Funtime Bonnie.
Yeah, there's no Bonnie. It's also, again, and like with like Golden Freddy, both Golden Freddy and Fredbear, there's like a ghostly element, right?
Yeah, they're both like Freddy, weird bears. Yeah,
they're not like the normal animatronics.
And a gray man at a desk who's killed by Circus Baby.
Yeah,
another sister location connection.
Yeah, and you've got, again, we know that Afton, because again, if they were being sent, if the FNAF 2 ones are also spring locks and stuff, it's like, if they were being sent to locations to capture kids, like, or Afton was, he was the mechanic, quote unquote, like in charge of looking after when you rent them out. It's not just like you send it to a house. It's not like FNAF AR. It's at this point, it's a guy delivers it to your house and makes sure it works.
Yeah.
But therefore, opportunity to kill kids or do something.
Yeah.
I guess.
Especially looking into the theory that I believe T-Dreads had about using the schedule and lining it up with sister location. The schedule we go from the source code, where it would like we were repairing them on the days that the days after they said they went out to go to a party or whatever. And then linking that to the idea of like if they were collecting remnant, it lines up with the schedule we have for them.
Yeah, which also would align with sort of Michael's involvement potentially.
Yeah. I mean,
the only thing it obviously messes with like MCI.
Yes.
Well, not MCI, I'm sorry, Molten MCI.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of goes against that.
It would imply that William's around in some way.
Yeah. And or I mean, it would even just muddy the waters of how's it Molten MCI if there's like 10 other kids in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But even just in the sense of like, because again, if we're going, this is tied to sister location, Afton at that point we believe to be spring locked, and sent Michael down, and he was like, oh, I found it. It was right where you said it would be. But we also don't know he's dead. Like, he's spring locked at that point strictly.
Yeah.
I guess, like, at the ending, we do see Springtrap when he's doing that monologue.
Yeah,
Fazbear's
no, because he
Fright,
pops up from
Fazbear's
Fazbear Fright at the end of that. Because
but then people, we also don't like the idea that sister location happens after Fazbear's Fright.
No, I think it would have to happen before. Because to me, it's like, it feels like it's superimposed. Because it ends with, I'm going to come find you, hard cut to William Afton in a burnt building. It's like, okay, he came and found him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It feels like that. But
now here's speaking of the more we talk about sister location, the more I kind of want to bring this up to you. There is I just answered this question on the pod as somebody brought it up. I believe it was Unusual Carrot. This is the map of the prototype pizzeria in Secret of the Mimic.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get, I can only find one with arrows on it, so forgive me for that. This is the map of the sister location private office defense, which is similarly a room. Keep in mind the bottom little dongle is the tunnel to the ride. But if we start at like where F10N4 is, a room with 2 hallways on the side with side rooms attached, a big room up top, and a vertical vent. Which is, more than a little strange.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, but then also within that, we also then got the screenshot of the FNAF 3.
Yep.
Room.
We have the FNAF 3 room. We have the screenshot of the FNAF 4 hallway. There's so much interconnectedness, and it's like it's getting to a point where like Poppy Playtime, I feel like every game moving forward is going to go one layer deeper and reveal something is even bigger in this underground facility.
Right. It's kind of getting crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
So that is the FNAF 2 location, or not FNAF 2. FNAF.
No, the sister location private office and the prototype pizzeria. I mean, and that even goes along with the whole idea of if we are going down the Didophobia road, the idea that FNAF 4 is connected by a wall to one of these rooms, and we know that there's several other rooms down there. It's like, God. Oh man, it then goes back to Secret Party. Is the house she's going around real? Or is the house she's going around where all these kids died in these testing chambers? I mean, hey, to a point, we do have a Fredbear and a Bonnie in these rooms. The prototype Springlock suits. A gray man could be anyone at that rate. And a Golden Freddy. We don't really have a Golden Freddy for this location, I guess. Not yet, anyway.
Again, that's a weird part because we've never seen, like, other than FNAF World, we've never seen these two in a room together.
Yeah. Because theoretically, they shouldn't be.
No. The idea has always kind of just been, like, the unspoken rule is, Golden Freddy is kind of Fredbear later on. We don't talk about it, but that's kind of just
it kind of just is, like, that's just a later... Fredbear when it's more of like an apparition than a suit at that point. Like, and it's one of the, especially because like arguably Secret of the Mimic's Golden Freddy is the White Tiger in that sense. Yes. The thing that flickers in front of you, the thing that like doesn't move quite right. And it has something like that, but that also it's so different. It's so separately contained. That's a whole other can of worms, that White Tiger.
The White Tiger is such a random addition.
Yeah, I've got my thoughts on it, and I like my thoughts on it, but it's also thoughts that are very disconnected from the rest of it.
Yeah, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
in a series that has been so like we're moving into the AI generation. And then, oh, by the way,
except for this, except for this straight up ghost with no better explanation. It's the ghost or the, well, he is 36 hours sleep deprived. Who can say?
Well, as soon as I heard that, I was like, that's their get out of jail free clause.
Sure is. I think, what is it? The first 10 minutes of Ruin is the only objective, non-biasable things we see in the entire post Ultimate Custom Night franchise, and pre-Ultimate Custom Night is indie game devs, so now there's nothing we can latch onto.
Right.
Oh yeah, we get until Cassie puts on the Vanny mask. Those 10 minutes, those are solid. And somehow the blob is in them.
Somehow the blob, therefore, is the most important piece.
God. I mean, it's one of those things, too, about, like, if we're talking about, if this is supposedly helping children move on, and the blob is likely filled with many different people, is this what's happening to, is this what we do to resolve the blob? Right? The idea of, like, I had I don't remember if it was a question or what, but thinking a while ago about, like, how do we fix the blob? And it was the idea of the only thing we've seen in this entire franchise to best agony is exposing it to itself or focusing on the happy memories so it can break free from whatever is shackling it. Mm-hmm. And the idea of, like, Cassie's whole
mini game.
How
many kids?
Oh God, a lot. Because there's 10 levels. And at least the attic has 10 kids. The problem is I don't think it specifies exactly in each level. Because sometimes it does. Like master bedroom, there are 2 crying babies. But then in the dark basement. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Wait, it's specifying. Dark basement has 3.
3 babies.
Kitchen and dining area has 3. So we're at 6.
6.
Living room has... once you step... living room doesn't specify. Catch the babies.
Yeah, so that just has babies.
Yeah. And then master bedroom has 2. Kid's bedroom has 1. A kid's bedroom with 1 crying child and toys scattered all over the place. The secret room had none, I believe. It was just where you get the key in the box.
The home office has 2.
2. Bathroom has 1. The impatient baby. It's gonna be
so
really.
We're looking at. So it's 12 plus whatever one was in the living room, which is unspecified.
Yeah, and then 1 in the 1 in the bathroom. So I guess. Hold on, I've already lost count.
No, I think that was me including the 12.
Well, that was the only odd number, so we'd be at an odd number at this point, wouldn't we? No, because the kid's bedroom. You're right.
Yeah, because there's a lot of 3s and stuff.
Okay, and then the garage was...
And then in the attic, there's 10.
Yeah, the attic is 10. 4 crying babies in the garage.
Oh, gosh.
So, we were at 12, plus 4 is 16, plus 10 is 26. Anywhere from
plus
20...
however many were in the living room.
Master bedroom, it just says there are... Snaps out. Needs to figure out how to get the guarded cupcakes.
Basically, it's too many.
Ooh, we can guess 2. We can guess 2 because you get 2 pink cupcakes when you stop Golden Freddy.
In
the master bedroom. So I would argue that most likely it's 2. So 28 kids.
Yeah. So it's too many to be
MCI,
like anything.
DCI.
Because you go MCI, because that's the thing, if it was only 10, it'd be like, oh, this is MCI and DCI. This is like the whole
MCI and DCI, Cassie, Charlotte. Well, no, Cassie's MCI, so crying child, Charlotte. Just to count dead children, not even,
Elizabeth.
We get to 13.
We've only got like 9.
Yeah, if you count MCI and DCI separately, and then there's like 3 more named ones.
And Charlie, crying child. And Elizabeth. That's 13. That's
we're getting very close to 14 theory territory. Arguably Michael dies at some point. He was a child at some point.
He dies.
But even then, if we get to 14 doing it that way, we're still halfway to 28.
Yeah, we're still nowhere close.
I wonder if hold on. Now that I made the 14 theory joke, So I swear to God, they pulled out the number 28 in that video at some point, and I want to know what that was in reference to. I think it was just that it's divisible by 7.
Great.
Sure. Hey, if anyone knows, correct me if I'm wrong. But it is interesting. Hey, there's a number connection. If there's 28 children in the house, that's divisible by 7.
Yeah. Yeah, we keep. I mean, 7 is an important number. We keep seeing
surely.
7. But it's just like, again, because they're all in random. It's not like every room is a room of 3.
Yeah, no, they're randomly distributed.
And I'm just like, because that would be the thing. Like, if it was like 10 kids, you go, oh, this is like putting all the victims to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Like every victim.
Do we know? I'm pulling up the sister location schedule. If there's any way to guess how many possible victims would have been involved if they were kidnapping. No, we just know when they were booked is all. There's no way to tell besides that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, there's so much evidence of something.
Right? Right? Because it feels like this way of thinking is the way. It doesn't feel like the Foxy grid in the sense of there's an ARG here.
No, it feels like we're supposed to be like not necessarily subbing things for other things, but the seeing how this lines up and what it's kind of like when you have those projector slides and you line them on top of each other and see what forms.
Right. Yeah.
Secret party is over. Well, not for nothing to mention in the finish paragraph. Because it says, after all, the party doesn't have to end. But it starts with, wins the game by feeding all the babies with sweet cupcakes. Her secret party is over. And she's pacified all her guests and managed to elude the shadow figures, who thankfully have vanished. And then suddenly the party starts up again. Like, it has that moment where the party ends, everyone's pacified, the shadow figures go away, and then there's a party.
Right.
Which is very strange.
Yeah, that is odd.
I feel like we're wringing this thing dry at this point. I don't.
Right.
It's not.
I think we have looked actively at
every angle. I mean, we've at this point it's been connected to every game at this point.
Right. Like, I do think it's very FNAF 4 sister location.
Yeah.
Coded, especially given the date.
For sure. Given the date, given the layout of it, the people involved.
It just feels very tied to that. It's just going how and why.
Yeah. And that like we said near to the beginning, that's kind of a microcosm of FNAF in general at this point. We have so many connections,
right.
But we have no how and why.
Yeah. That's the problem. We end up at a point where so little has been confirmed, you cannot expect people to really jump any further forward because everyone's foundation is shaky.
Yeah. Like, I've got several criticisms for Poppy Playtime's storytelling and lore right now, but one thing you cannot criticize it for is it being too vague. We're getting answers.
That's the thing.
Quite frequently.
In FNAF, in Poppy 4 and 5 especially, they really hammered home giving you answers.
Yeah. Like, we got a lot. And, like, not so many that we know exactly what's going on, but we have a foundation to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. And they've started answering some of the questions while leaving others open.
Yeah.
But FNAF just...
It really needs... FNAF in general just needs a Pop Goes Memories, and I don't think we're ever going to get it for FNAF. It'd be nice.
True.
For those of you who don't know, it was the side game for the Pop Goes franchise, which was basically hey, here's every character and what they did in the story. You know?
Yep. Yep. We just need something like... Because I'm like, even if they only solved for the initial like run, the Afton era, I feel like it would give us a foundation for like the Mimic era that we're now in.
Yeah.
And like Secret of the Mimic did some of that.
We got a lot more information about the Mimic. I mean, we know more about the Mimic than we do about William Afton at this point.
Well, true, but that's the thing. It's like, oh, it's so cool to like see back into the past and stuff, and like get some of that confirmation. But it's now at this point of like, because that's the other problem is like one of the things that Matt would always talk about when we were like trying to come up with FNAF theories is what does this change?
Yeah.
So when like Midnight Motorist was confirmed or roughly confirmed, like with the 5 laps,
right?
And like, oh, this is kind of hinting at Orange Guy being Purple Guy being William Afton.
Right, with the whole, like, the Midnight Murderers or whatever.
Exactly. Like, so there's that, or it was like, I think I talked about Didophobia with him. And we talked about, like, oh, there's a kid who escapes. Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of what's happening here, and blah, blah, blah. And we were like, it's interesting, but what does it change?
Yeah.
Like, what does it actually solve? And I think that's the problem is we're getting a lot of stuff right now. Like I've joked about it in a few videos. We have a few things that feel like confirmations. And so everyone gets very excited. So the Midnight Murderist, the yellow rabbit antenna is one of those where it's like, feels like a big deal. It feels like we've got confirmation. What does it fix?
Yeah.
Like genuinely. Like, okay, we now know, we believe that Orange Guy is Purple Guy. Sure. A lot of people believe that for a long time anyway.
Still don't really know what's going on.
And it doesn't shift the story.
Yeah.
Into like any confirmed way. And that's kind of where it just feels like in general we are at. It's just there's not a lot of stuff to like, we're getting small tidbits of information, but it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
It's not like going, oh, by the way, here is like, confirmation that there are definitely 2 spirits inside of Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
Or here is confirmation that the crying child is definitely M2, or whatever. Like stuff that would like actively change how we're looking forward. And that's the thing is like a lot of, and I notice it a lot just in the FNAF fandom in general. A lot of people are still theorizing about these games, like the early games, more so than the new stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think the new era is focused on you don't know until the next thing comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't solve it.
You're getting pieces before the question. Whereas,
exactly.
There was always, and it's kind of the idea about how like in early FNAF, like in that first William era, the games were very true crime coded, where the plot and the story were always separate. We were just a person dealing with the repercussions of something else that had happened. Whereas in this new era, we're definitely like, we are the active party in what's going on. So we can't, the things haven't happened yet for us to solve.
No, exactly. And so I think, and like, but that's where like the problem is, right? Because again, like we can theorize about the original like 7 games all day long, but we're at such a point where it's like, what does it change? Now. Like there are some that obviously we like claim to like totally upend the entire book and like change everything. And I saw one that was going around that was about the truth about like Golden Freddy and
I keep getting recommended
the crying child.
Yeah, I keep getting recommended that.
It's good. It's a good video.
All right, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I will, and I keep forgetting to.
Yeah. It's very good, and that is one of those ones that would upend a lot in terms of theorizing, but again, like we've moved beyond it so much that like it's still like sure, okay, we would then get confirmation of like, oh, okay, this is how these spirits work, and this is David Murray's spirit or whatever, or this is whoever.
Yeah, and
you go, okay, but why?
Yeah, but you keep coming back to why does that matter?
Yeah, and that's been my biggest frustration with FNAF as of recent. Is just that why question is much harder to find. Of like, we can find a small detail or reanalyze something, but unless it drastically shifts, has that domino effect, it kind of is just like, okay, it was or wasn't Michael that was in, FNAF 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the going back to the mystery of the early games. It was like even if you weren't that concerned on what exactly happened to cause what's going on, in trying to figure that out, you will find that you can maybe fix it. And we always had that why of like, we can work towards letting these people rest. I don't even know who's a spirit right now.
No.
Or the fact that like, if the mimic is supposed to be this big bad, okay, well, it was locked away until we opened it up. And we opened it up because we wanted to, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because you get
that's.
No, you
Sorry.
are.
No, I was just gonna say because like even with like Gregory, right? And, like the mystery around Gregory and like, what his deal is, it's like we're still kind of going, but is he good though?
And every opportunity we've had to learn, we didn't learn shit. I'm looking at you.
No, exactly.
Escape the Pizzaplex. Forever mad. You were a good book, but useless to me.
Right. Escape the Pizzaplex was honestly, I think might be the worst book.
It was such a perfect opportunity. And it teased it too. It teased it in the book. It was like, oh, he went behind a secret door in the bowling alley. Oh, maybe in a second playthrough I can. No, you can't. You don't get to know.
No. Such a perfect opportunity that was wasted.
Yeah. Not every book can be the week before.
No, it's true. But I just think there's so many things where it's like this, like Chica's secret party, where it's like, okay, what are you trying to teach us? And if you're trying to teach us it, why are you trying to teach it to us? Like, well, what is it going to change? What is this shift? So if it's like freeing all the spirits and like, oh, it's Chica, this is the party she was rented out to, and like, it's about putting spirits to rest. It's like, okay, why? What does that change?
It keeps coming back to that why, because it's and it's part of it is the whole, I guess taking the franchise and marketing it seriously, right? Where we've had a lot of discussions just in the fandom recently. I know I've seen a lot of I'm pretty sure Dalko touched on it recently. I've seen a lot of tweets about it where it's like, you look at the other franchises right now and you see the things they're doing. Or it's like, the Backrooms had that in-universe commercial that they're just airing just as a separate thing. It's like, that's really fun. That's a really good way to tease things. It's a really good way to do this. You see all the marketing that Mob did for Chapter 5 with the 10 different like ARG-like VHS videos that we were getting. And then, you go to...
There was a whole ARG around Chapter 5.
Yeah, a huge one. And there's been an ARG for every chapter. And then we go to Secret of the Mimic.
Chapter 3 onwards, I think.
Yeah. And you go to Secret of the Mimic, and we did get a teaser trailer and then a gameplay trailer. And, I mean, to my memory, we got
It feels like it's in its want to be legitimized, it is left behind some of the stuff that made it special.
Yeah, kind of acting like a AAA game where you only need to give out a trailer or two and people will figure it out. Whereas, no, hey, we're still very indie here. You still need to drum up your hype.
Yeah, I think it's like, because they go, they're at state of plays now and things like that. They are being promoted as legitimate games, like AA, probably rather than AAA. But in its want to be a legitimate thing, where it's like, because even the trailers, I don't even think the trailers are there to be you can solve things. It's just this is what you do.
Yep.
Release a trailer that builds hype, rather than, again, remembering the indie roots and the fact that while the game and might be better quality and might be AA or be promoted and being taken seriously, and when you hit the legitimate indie lists of indie games coming out, and they never mention flipping Subliminal or whatever it is that's just come out.
Oh yeah.
But it'll mention FNAF because it's this is now a legit indie game,
right?
But the story is still very, very, as it always has been, of that indie space. And those two things are kind of now clashing, where we're trying to treat it like a AA legitimate quote unquote game,
right?
Without solving anything.
Not to say that anything actually has become AAA, but existing in that space while still being indie and not really making up its mind.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem. Because, yeah, we would get trailers. And again, the teasers for games weren't, here's a trailer. It was, Scott changed a thing on his website.
Yeah. And that was fun. That was something we could do. Something that
gave us
up
story
that
things like,
fandom.
again, like, without Scott Games, we wouldn't understand what happened between Ennard and Baby.
Yeah.
Like, Baby and the Fun Times.
That would have been a complete... Like, we could have guessed there, but it would have been a guess at best.
Yeah. There wouldn't have been any evidence other than these two characters are now separate.
Yeah. And, like, we got a taste of that with Security Breach, with the Freddy and Friends on tour, right? Where it was something kind of like that, and, you know, you could piece it together and get a picture of Glitch Trap, and that was cool. But, like you were saying, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't really tell us what's going on. It doesn't really give us any information besides the fact that Freddy is here.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like a puzzle. Like, well, there was one for it might have just been those ones, yeah, where like, at the end you obviously got like the blob and stuff, and there were like weird things.
Yes,
going on,
because
like,
after when the video would end, it would be static, and then a character would be like teased, and one was the blob, one was the moon.
Sure, cool. But that was your opportunity to like hide story or like the prologue essentially of the game.
Yeah, especially Security Breach, which comes out of nowhere without a prologue.
Right. Yeah, you just kind of start and it's like, oh, Gregory's like in his chest. What? It would have been a cool moment to have hidden stuff that would have either like, you know, would have hinted at Gregory and like what led him to this point. Conversation logs.
Instead of what we did get,
websites with code.
Was books after the fact.
Right?
Yeah.
Which are now at the point of like, well, they're not canon.
Yep.
So while GGY is plausible and doesn't contradict anything, can we take it as fact?
Does it exist?
Right?
Does it not exist?
Right?
Yeah. No, it is in that weird space of just every bit of information we're getting. Because, that, like you said, it builds story. Those teasers were important not just because it would build hype, which is huge and is lacking right now, but they were at least something concrete to work with. It wasn't a book, which is in a dubious canon. It wasn't a movie or something in a game that a guy who has hallucinogenic chips in his brain is looking at. We have to take it with a grain of salt. It was, well, this is from Scott directly, so we can take this.
Right? Like, it would have been great if, like, you got that static, right? Of the, like, the show ends, you get that static, and within the static, you get, like, a garbled backwards message, and it's like, can you hear me? It's me, Gregory, or whatever. And it's just like building up Gregory's story to then get Security Breach and go, oh, this is this kid who we've never heard of before. We just have a name, Gregory.
And now it's like, him. And it's like, oh, but he doesn't know what's going on. What happened? You know, and like suddenly there's a mystery, not just, oh, of course he doesn't know what's going on. He's just some random kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things like that. And that's my want is just to go like, because I know Steel Will are like fans of the franchise, so it's like, go back to what you were fans of.
Yeah.
Not from gameplay. Like, I'm not saying go back to the sit and survive. But
I still think Security Breach desperately needs a main menu sit and survive game mode.
I agree.
I think it's such a missed opportunity, and I think it would have resolved a lot of people's problems with it if it was just, you know, you boot it up and right away there's an option for it. You play it, it's Rockstar Row, and you're like, this isn't that scary. And then as you play, you unlock locales and different versions of the animatronics. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. But I just think like, and this is the thing, because all of this mystery, then to circle everything back, leads to things like Chica's Secret Party having to be released, because it's like, oh, well, they're not getting it, or here's another thing to help to solve, to like tease something new, and you're going, but what though? Because there's no foundation.
Yep. If we're at a point where something that is meant to be a teaser can in any way be thought of as a troll, we've lost the plot.
Right? And like, that's the thing, we've got no basis for, is this a because again, it's not been clearly signposted of like, is this a teaser? Is this a puzzle? It was just kind of dropped, and it's like, oh, the community will figure it out. And I'm like, again, like I said at the beginning, dog, the community's tired.
Yeah, we
they
need
don't.
something.
The reason. I know game theory gets a lot of hate. We like to throw out some out there ideas because we throw out there ideas because we're looking for the why.
Yeah.
And so often you have to come up with a weird solution to have a why with this franchise very, very often. But people are getting frustrated with us.
I was gonna say, or like going down those strange roads along the way, you'd be like, well, this part was kind of cool. And then that's another road, another avenue.
Exactly, and you have to do that, but like I remember people got frustrated with us, even back in the Matt days of like Security Breach and stuff.
Oh yeah,
because everything felt they were like, everything feels too convoluted. It feels too out there. It feels too complicated. I just want like the truth and not thought experiments. Essentially, like my Michael video was a thought experiment to go. Is the movie trying to tell us there's actually two Michaels? How would that work?
Right.
People didn't like that because it breaks the established quote unquote canon. But it's that sense of like people are just so tired of the mystery. They just want the story. They just want what is happening. They want to understand. And these days, and they blame theorists, I think, because it's like, oh, theorists make it too complicated. Oh, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with game theory anymore. I can't keep up with, Right Host anymore. I can't keep up with John FNAF or ID's Fantasy or whoever because it's too complicated and too weird and I can't keep up. And I'm like, that's not our fault.
We didn't write it.
We didn't write it. We are trying our best to figure something out.
It was like,
it's convoluted, but
whenever I read those comments, like, damn, you're right. I can't keep up either. I'm trying.
No, right? And I'm just like, we just need like a device. Like, it's why game theory on several occasions throughout the last 5-ish years have talked about FNAF rebooting.
Yeah.
And going, we need to close the book on this, like, close the chapter, like, end that chapter and start something totally new, which we thought Help Wanted and Security Breach was going to be, and then it wasn't.
Yeah. And I mean, that's another
because then
thing
I'm like, you could...
like you're saying, that's another thing of like, there's two different mysteries going on. So not only do we not know what the current mystery is, any piece of evidence we have to cross-reference and be like, well, is it supposed to be? The last one hasn't been solved yet.
Yeah. Like, again, Chica Secret Party. Is this solving Sister Location and FNAF 4? Or is this solving Secret of the Mimic in some way?
It's kind of like we came into this being like, yeah, if we rub our brain cells together, maybe we'll get like a solution for Chica's Secret Party. And it's coming out to be, oh, Chica's Secret Party is everything.
Yeah.
Everything is a Chica's Secret Party.
Chica's Secret Party has maybe some symbolism or some relevance, but like not much else. And again, like it's not like it's a map. Like we haven't spent a lot of time like looking at like the directions it gives, but it's just like it's a weird because it's like it's showing us 2D images, but it almost it's explained almost like a 3D space.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you go throughout the different levels, and it's a 3-story house, but it's 2D. Based on these screenshots, and one of them involves going outside, which is never mentioned.
Yeah, never
which is the Midnight Motorist Photoshop.
Yeah,
because I see some of these, right?
Yeah, we do because there's the water coming into the basement.
The kitchen with the dog.
Children. Kitchen with the dog.
The two this one's just kind
children.
of like a room. Could be anything really.
Yeah, 2 crying children with a cupcake on a shelf. But yeah, the outside one's weird because that's never mentioned. And again, it's the broken window from Midnight Motorist.
Yeah.
Which implies, again, there's a connection to that story.
With the footsteps still there,
in some way. Like, because that's the other thing we haven't established, again, because it's 2016, which feels too soon. Because Midnight Motorist wasn't until 2017.
God, yeah, that's right. This would have been... So this is arguing that Midnight Motorist was actually a reuse of a map from Chica's Secret Party.
Right?
Because Midnight Motorist came out after this.
So, like, this can't be solving Midnight Motorist. In a sense, it doesn't feel like it should be, because it would have come before.
Yeah, Midnight Motorist was actually to solve Chica's Secret Party, didn't you know?
Yeah, there you go. That's why it doesn't make sense, you see.
That's that
because we were missing the key context.
He keeps sneaking off to go to Chica's Secret Party.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's like, yeah, it's like, because it's like, because he says like, oh yeah, the kid snuck off, and there was obviously animatronics footprints. And
some weird footprint. And that's also like, not even her footprints in
but actually,
this Photoshop.
Is this just the start of the game? Is this how Chica sneaks in?
Yeah.
Do the secret party.
Yeah, because the Photoshop has her very much look like a sneaker footprint, where it's that like small heel, large front.
Yeah.
In 2 segments, which is neither of the footprints from Midnight Motors, actually.
Right.
Is a new 3rd footprint that doesn't track any Chica design, even Toy Chica. Because I think Toy Chica at least has webbed feet.
Toy Chica, yeah.
I stopped myself. I was 2 frames from searching Toy Chica's feet. I was...
Toy Chica's...
It was almost...
Oh, no, they're not webbed. They're the weird, like, rectangles.
Oh, yes. Which, again,
with the
not these footprints. These are distinctly different footprints.
They're... What?
God. Yeah, I mean, hey, hold on. Midnight Motorist. Can't type all of a sudden. Footprints.
Because the window's broken differently.
I don't know. The window's broken in this. Oh, no, it is kind of... It's hard to tell because it's like fading to black there.
But it is smashed.
Yeah.
But it's smashed in a different way.
Hey, I hate to be that guy. The Midnight Motors footprint does have 3 toes. And so does Toy Chica.
It does.
It's not the same shape. Surely
it's a weird shape for it.
Yeah, it's like rounded, whereas it would have been more rectangular, which arguably would have been easier in this art style.
Which is why it feels like a Freddy or a Spring Bonnie.
Yeah,
footprint.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, technically speaking, it has 3 toes.
Technically speaking, it's got 3 toes. Once again, it always comes back to counting toes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this model because like the bushes are different. Like, so it's similar but different because the bushes are different. The grass is in different places.
Well, you have to approach. Are there windows on the approach? Let me pull up the full map. I don't remember if you have to walk 2 squares or if the moment you the moment you turn, it's the back of the house now.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, the bushes have been moved around. It is a new image.
Yeah, so it's meant to be reminiscent. It's meant to make us go, "Oh, Midnight Motorist." But it is like they've remade it.
Yeah,
because it's got different footprints. The bushes are different. The crack in the window is different. So it's not a lazy Photoshop. They have like redone it.
Somebody fully redid the art for this. And why did they do that?
Also, I'm just noticing on the screenshots, it's called Chica's New Party.
Yeah. And I think I wonder if that's because Happiest Day is Chica's party. What is the
But why would it not be Chica, just say secret?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, you'd think. Is there a header for... Hold on. I know. Where's that like FNAF resources website? That's got a really good map for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, FNAFlore.com. Great resources on this website.
Oh.
Maps 3. Yeah, it says Chica's party in but also it's not a Photoshop job. That's a fully different font.
Yeah.
It's all caps.
Reminiscent of all these old things.
Yeah, the original here. That's the original header.
Yeah.
Arguably new looks like it might be in that font. But Chica's party is a different color. It's not all caps. The C has more like actual like shape to it than it does there. This is so strange.
It is, because it looks like a mix of... It does look like it looks like a mix of like Chica's party.
I'm actually
along with the FNAF 5 sister location.
I'm going to pull up the PDF and I'm going to do a classic Photoshop Brighten. Because I'm having trouble looking at this with my eyes. Because it's actually really dark on the physical page.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at... Yeah, but even the... Because I'm trying to figure out where these kids... Because these kids' models look different.
They do.
What are they from? Because they look familiar.
It's kind of give cake to the children. Let me pull that up.
Which minigame is that?
In 2. Resources.
Oh yeah, it's all Foxy Go Go Go.
Yeah, this one is kind of what I'm getting, and it's not 1-to-1, but like this is immediately what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there's that one. Yeah, Foxy Go 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 is similar.
But you're right that this specific. Oh, you know what? It's the Sit and Survive kid.
Oh, it is.
It's the Sit and Survive kid. That's that shape. Granted, again, still different, but like, maybe is that our hint to the fact that it's a troll? Because like that's the Sit and Survive pose, feet out, hands out and up.
Yeah, right.
Because every time there's been a troll, it's been Sit and Survive, like to the at this point,
right?
Oh right, I almost forgot. I was gonna brighten this image. To what end, I have no idea, but we're at a point.
We're at that point.
And we'll zoom in. Yeah, I noticed there's like a cupcake counter in the top right, which is almost fully invisible in the actual book.
Yep. But again, it is designed to look like these mini games.
If I put this next to Midnight Motorist, yeah, the windows are in the exact same positions, but you're right. The break is different. The bushes are different. The footprints. It's all different. Yeah, it's so strange. So again, like somebody would have had to make this, right? Like someone sat down and made these from scratch. And I mean, I guess you could argue maybe Scott made them, but frankly, I don't think his pixel art is as good as this is. Not to say this is good, more to say anyway. But like the fact that it's all original, it's all new. Either, somebody at Scholastic had a field day, which does not feel like how that would happen at all in the workflow of this, or Scott gave this to them and said, put this in there too.
Which, would make sense, because that's how Scott handled, Security Breach.
Yeah.
He just went, here's the thing, put it in there. So, he made a thing and asked them to put it in there. So, it feels like that. But, to what end?
Yeah. No, I think we're at a point where the meaningful conversation about this section of the book has passed.
I would agree.
I think we're around that point.
We've talked it to death. We've
talked
tried.
it to death. We've eulogized it in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I hold true to that. You know what? I'll pony up $20. Somebody make this. let me play this and see what this would have been like. And I'll let you put whatever you want to put in the box.
Crazy.
And what's not for nothing, it came out in 2016. The only other thing I can think to mention, location of the book itself. This is a chronological guide, right? It's FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, sister location. It skips over FNAF World fully, I think. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, FNAF World is not in here at all. Ultimate Custom Night is. But it goes all the way through Ultimate Custom Night, then Help Wanted, Curse of Dreadbear, Special Delivery, Security Breach, Help Wanted 2, Chica's Secret Party, Secret of the Mimic.
Right.
Which is so strange of a placement. If it'd be one thing if it was like, and the game no one found at the end. but it's before Secret of the Mimic. Just put
which
there.
Again,
if it was 2016, shouldn't this be by sister location?
Right, which again makes it feel like it's there to help solve something modern, or has some modern relevance. But like what? Because everything is so FNAF 4, FNAF like sister location coded.
That's so strange.
So like,
I think after this, I'm going to go and map out the Murray house and see if there's anything to it. But I don't think it's going to do anything, so I'm not going to hold you while I do it.
That's fair. But do let me know. Because
I'll let you know if I find anything. If I find anything, you'll see an all caps DM within the next hour.
Fair enough.
But if we are to leave it here, do you have any final thoughts you want to give on Chica's Secret Party?
I really want it to be something. I don't want it to just be a troll. I really hope it is something, and I really hope there is just a piece that we are missing.
Yeah.
I've just got no clue.
Man, it'd be crazy if Scott randomly left a comment about whether or not we should take this seriously or not. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I think until something new comes out, which looking at the layout of things being advertised for FNAF, who knows when that'll be?
Maybe next year we'll get
maybe next year. Until something new even gets teased, I think this stands like a security breach where we just don't have enough information. We really don't. There are connections you can make, but no reason to do them.
It'll be like BarBADroid coming in and going, by the way, here's the name of the crying child.
Yeah. We need BarBADroid to solve it in 5 years because I'm
right. Come on, BarBADroid, buddy, pal, come on,
come on, please. But yeah, no, this is an insane thing, and I'm glad to have you with me trying to understand this insane thing we have. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's nice to not be bashing my head against a wall and instead be bashing my head against another head.
Now, I usually have folks shout out projects that are coming up. People know. I'm gonna specifically say, hey, Dapper Mr. Tom, you got anything coming up?
Yeah. Oh, Dapper Mr. Tom. Me and Rye actually stream together regularly on a Saturday with the Unsupervised, which is always a lot of fun. Other than that, I've got a lot of secret projects that I can't talk about.
Okay, fair enough.
I am NDA'd, but there's some fun stuff coming in the future for sure.
So keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled, and I'm mostly just working on trying to get my voice fully back so that I can stream more regularly again.
Stream more regularly, get some covers out of you. I know you mentioned one that I cannot wait to see you eventually get to when your voice is back.
Right. It's that one I planned and then immediately my voice went and I was like, oh yeah, it's the worst. I got the art for it and everything.
Well, keep your eyes out for it. And yeah. We had questions prepped in case we didn't make 45, and here we are 2 hours in. So I think that we all expected that to happen.
I think we did.
But until next time, as always, you've been watching the Freddy Fazbear Pizza Podcast, where the pizza abilities are endless. We hope to enjoy your future patronage. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.